wanted one perfect night. Kids gone, dinner reservations, a surprise my wife would never forget. Instead, I came home early and I heard something from upstairs that made my blood turn cold. I didn't yell. I didn't knock. I pulled out my phone and I started recording. That was 2 weeks ago. I have watched that video 10 times every single day since. This is not a thriller. This is real. Happened in a quiet American neighborhood. The kind with front porches and school buses. You will not believe what I saw or what I did next. My name is Mike. Not my real name, but that's what everyone calls me. I'm 30. I have 2 young kids, a wife I genuinely loved. We lived in a standard American subdivision. Sidewalks, mailboxes, a truck in every other driveway. I kept thinking, we never get time alone. So I decided to fix that. I asked my parents to take the kids for an entire weekend. They live about an hour and a half away, a straight shot down a rural highway. The plan was simple. On a Saturday morning, I would drive the kids to my parents' house, drop them off, and then, instead of staying all day like I usually did, I would turn right around and speed home. I'd be back before noon. I wanted to surprise my wife with a kid-free afternoon, a nice dinner, maybe some drinks, a real date night. At 8:30 a.m., I kissed the kids goodbye and hit the road. I drove the speed limit, made one stop for gas, and by 10:30 a.m., I was at my parents' house. I didn't stay long. I hugged the kids, told them to be good, and got back in the car. My wife thought I would be gone until evening. That was the key. By 12:15 p.m., I was back on my street, and that's when I noticed it. A pickup truck I didn't recognize, parked right in front of my house. Not a neighbor's truck, not a delivery, just a truck. I didn't panic. People park on public streets all the time, but something felt off. So instead of pulling into my driveway and opening the garage door, which would announce my arrival, I parked a few houses down. I decided to sneak in through the basement. It's a true surprise. The basement door was unlocked. I slipped inside, closed it softly, and started climbing the stairs to the main floor. I moved as quietly as a man can move in his own home, avoiding the creaky spots, holding my breath. When I reached the top of the stairs, I paused. The kitchen was empty, but I could hear something from the living room. At first, I thought my wife was just watching TV, but no, the sounds were different. I heard her voice, and then a man's voice, a man I did not recognize. My first instinct was to assume she was alone, maybe having some private time. I almost turned around. I didn't want to embarrass her. But then the man's voice came again, clear, close, upstairs. I felt my heart hammer against my ribs. My hands went cold. I thought about calling out. I thought about running upstairs. Instead, I did something else. I stayed completely still. I decided I needed to see what was happening. Not to confront, just to know. I climbed the last few steps, one at a time. The living room door was halfway open. I could hear everything. The couch shifting. Her breathing. His breathing. I knew exactly what was going on. But there was no way for me to look into the room without being seen. The doorway faced the couch directly. If I poked my head around, she would see me instantly. So I did something I never thought I would do. I opened my camera app. I extended my arm just past the wall, holding the phone like a spy, only my hand and the device visible, and I pressed record. For several minutes, I stood in my own kitchen, watching my wife on that tiny screen. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. Not yet. I just filmed. Every movement, every sound, every second. The man was someone I had never seen before. Younger, maybe. Fit. My wife was engaged. Fully. Neither of them looked toward the doorway. They were too lost in each other. Then she sat up. She laughed. She laughed. And said something that I would replay in my head 1,000 times. How much time do we have left? She wasn't worried about getting caught. She was worried about the clock. They got up and walked upstairs, toward our master bedroom. Their footsteps faded. A door closed. I lowered my phone. My hand was shaking. I walked into the living room. The room smelled different. Wrong. I saw the man's pants crumpled near the couch. I picked them up. A wallet fell out. I opened the wallet. Driver's license. I took pictures of every card, every corner. Name. Let's call him the landscaper. Address, a street on the other side of town. Date of birth, everything. I put the wallet back exactly where I found it. I left the pants where they were. Then I walked back down the basement stairs, out the door, and sat in my car. I sat there for 30 minutes, maybe longer. I opened the video and watched it from start to finish. Then I watched it again, then again. I couldn't stop. The more I watched, the more my stomach turned, but I couldn't put the phone down. I cried, not loud sobs, just tears rolling down my face while I stared at that tiny screen. I felt like the most pathetic man alive. I had just recorded my own wife's betrayal in my own living room, and now I couldn't look away. But I had to make a decision. I couldn't go back to my parents' house. The kids were there, and I would have to explain why my eyes were red and my voice was cracked. So I did the only thing that made sense in that broken moment. I started the car. I pulled into my own driveway. I opened the garage door, loud on purpose. I took my time walking inside. My wife appeared in the kitchen, wearing a robe. She looked flustered, a little out of breath. "You're home early." I was just about to take a bath. I smiled, a fake smile that hurt my face. I told her about the surprise date night, the rest of the drinks. She seemed excited. She poured 2 glasses of wine. She led me into the living room. The same living room. The couch had been straightened, but the pillows were still wrong. As she started getting close to me, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. The man, the landscaper, was sneaking down the basement stairs, carrying his shoes, no pants, moving as fast and as quietly as he could. I didn't say a word. I let my wife continue. I went along with the date, and every second of it felt like poison. He still watches it sometimes. He doesn't know why. He just can't stop.